in the auditorium. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'd start off with the next leadership keynote, that is the new age unicorns, what it takes to build a unicorn. And our speaker for this session is Mr. Bimal Patwari, MD, Pinnacle Infotech and President, TAI Kolkata. May I request you, sir, to kindly come on to the dais. Oh, here he is. Warm welcome to you, sir. And a round of applause for Mr. Bimal Patwari. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate the ABP group for the centenary celebrations. Especially coming from the eastern region, it's not so easy to survive for 100 years. I would also like to thank them for giving me this opportunity. In fact, Khalida promised me a full house, and he said, I will give you a full house if you can assure that there will be 10 unicorns coming out of this room after your presentation. So I took up that challenge, and I hope I can bring 25 of you. First of all, let's understand what is a unicorn. You know that symbol there, unicorn is a very legendary animal with a lot of power. It's a divine animal respected in our history. Can I have the clicker, please? Sorry. Okay. So today, we would like to talk about 4 things. First is understanding unicorn. Second is, what are the traits of unicorn? What makes a company become unicorn? What are the steps? I wish there was a secret sauce for becoming a unicorn and I could just bring 150 of those packets and give it to all of you to make unicorns. But friends, it's not easy. It's easy, but there is a process in that madness. And we are going to talk about that process. That we'll also talk about some of the successful and unicorns and some of the unicorns that those have failed, and try to learn from both the success and the failure. So to understand unicorn the way that today the society has defined it, it's a startup. It's a company which has started fresh and haven't achieved an valuation of exceeding 1 billion, which is approximately 8,200 crores as per the dollar rate today. They could be from any industry, but we have seen more of them coming from the technology industry. Some of the renowned unicorns, again, we have a lot of examples which we will be discussing today. There are almost 900 plus global unicorns, and in India, the number has increased substantially. So let's first understand, what do you need to become a unicorn? Not only just unicorn, you don't start with a goal to become unicorn. You start because you love your product or service, because you feel that you have found a product or service which has a very strong value proposition. Friends, there are so many myths around unicorn. You know, because Bill Gates dropped from the college, people think that, the earlier you leave the college, the better are the chances to become unicorn. Or if you've got a lot of money, then you will become a unicorn. You can spend, burn money, you can win the world because you've got a lot of money. So there are all kind of misconceptions and about what makes a unicorn. Second is, there must be a problem you are addressing. There has to be a pain in the industry among the people, and you must be solving that. A disruptive, I would say, it's not that these pains have suddenly come up. These pains could be there for a long time. But there has to be somebody. If you see most of the unicorns, it's not that this pain came up suddenly. It was existing in the society. So these people recognize that and they try to resolve that. They try to find a solution to those pain. They had a very clear vision and positioning. See, the product, you must be very clear that what you are trying to do with your product, what are you addressing, who is your customer segment, what are they looking for, and then your product must be complete with all the necessary features. See, you cannot, and we'll see some of the failures of businesses, why they failed. Because we will see, and I will go with you the reasons, which is very clear. It doesn't need a Warren Buffett to understand why they failed. So, friends, once you have decided that you have understood there is a pain, you have found a solution to that, you have done your research, you have done your homework, you have found that yes, I have got a solution which I can offer to people, so you are ready for the next stage. And mind you, this startup business again has somehow this myth has been created that startup means you have to be fresh, you have to be young, fresh from the college, so your chances are better. This is the biggest myth which I think we must break. I was in Israel and I was, they took me to a tour of Israel, and Israel is the second largest country of startups, successful startups after US, and their population is not even 1/100th of India. Still they are second largest startup country in the world. So I tried to understand what makes them so successful. And when I interacted with their innovation hubs and the entrepreneurs, I found a 70-year-old doctor, a very successful entrepreneur with a startup. So it needs a different wiring, it needs a different animal to get into business and become an entrepreneur. It's nothing to do with young, it's nothing to do with age, it's nothing to do with the other qualifications that we ascribe to it. So once you have come it, now you have to do a SWOT analysis. I'm trying to bring some management also here, but it's very simple: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So you have to first understand what are your strengths. If you are an individual, if you are a company, if you are a team of people, what are your strengths? What do all of you bring on the table? So when Infosys started, these gentlemen, 5 gentlemen, had different strengths, and they brought all those things on the table which make that venture so successful. You have to also understand what are your weaknesses, because all our strategy, planning, everything, we must be aware, and all of us have weaknesses. What are the opportunities for the products that you are, or services that you are looking at, and what are the threats? And the threats could be not just competition, threats could be technology, threats could be government regulations. Today you have come up with a product, Paytm for example, and there are many such examples. The government changes the policy and you go for a toss. So you have to do that sensitivity analysis, that what are my threats and how I am going to work around those threats. Then the customer and the value proposition. For me, the product, if you have a Nalin Guder Sandesh, right? Apni jodi Nalin Guder Sandesh bhalo na thake, you sell it at any price, you spend crores of rupees in promotion, you make a nice box, you have a nice shop, it's not going to sell. Anything, any successful enterprise that you see, they have a good offering. So friends, please be sure that whatever you are doing, when you are jumping on this, you have a good product. You must be the best salesman of your company. You must be confident that that product and service, your body language will show that yes, I am the best. You don't have to prepare your marketing. honest business models. Don't make a business model for the investors, for the banks. We always try to inflate figures, Excel sheet, it's so easy to make some nice projections. In 1 year, you'll become a unicorn, you'll save so many millions of dollars. No. Please be honest to yourself. Please do all the research. See, if you are in business to chase money, then you are wrong. If you don't chase money, money will chase you. You do your business. Yesterday, Mr. Patnaik, he was so elegant about this, right? So, it is very important that we make the business model, we make the projections, we make the complete details, and be honest to ourselves. So, whatever the pricing, packaging, promotion, sales channel, we have very short time, so I'm not getting into that, but then all of you, we need to make sure that we have those clarity. We work in the details. And that's why I repeat, I'm against freshers from college doing startups. In fact, if you see the failures in our country of the unicorns or the startups, because they started fresh from the college, technology graduates, but you don't know how to conduct business. You don't know how to manage finances. You don't know how to manage people. So I feel that it is never too late. Get your experience at somebody else's cost, and then make sure that you have that confidence. Maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 30 years. It is never too late. Finally, test market your product. It's very important. That will give you the confidence. Maybe in an area, maybe your friends would be the first guinea pig, that whatever you develop, friends and relatives, So these are the people who are your neighborhood, your community. Test market, review and revise. Then comes to, once you are sure, once you have got sure about your product, you have developed your business model, you have tested it, you are confident that yes, it works, then let's get into the execution. And execution means you need to build the team. We entrepreneurs, we lack in that many a times. You need to hire people who are better than you. You need to hire people from all types of experiences and expertise. Standardize customer acquisition and sales process. Very important. If you want to scale up your business, you cannot do customization. Like Uber, Ola, Rapido, like all these companies, they have one app for everybody. You cannot have, so then only you can scale it up. So you must have a very good customer acquisition and the sales process. Invest in technology and infrastructure. It's very important. I cannot overemphasize this. I still remember my old days in 2007 when I had a revenue of X. I invested 7X in my infrastructure. And out of that, 3.5X was loan, term loan. And I'm all bootstrapped. I've never taken money from anybody. Again, that's a different chapter. So, that paid back. Imagine a company with a revenue of X investing 7X in the infrastructure. That was the confidence that we had in our product and services. We had test marketed it for 10 years. We had gone international. We saw that this tsunami is coming. We saw the potential and we said, yes, let's do it. Finally, skin in the game. Did you put your children's fixed deposit as collateral for the business? Did you put your family's jewelry as collateral to get your funding? Then you will know the pain of that money. I'll give you an example. In 2007, we had a competition in Delhi. Both of us were 300 people. Both of us had similar profile. I was bootstrapped. And this gentleman in Delhi, he got a 12 million equity from Sequoia Capital in 2007. 12 million in 2007 was a big money. And I was on loan. Within that 2 years, and we were very similar in terms of competitive advantages, similar market. Within 2 years, that company was finished. Because it was a free money, it was an equity money, they started flying business class, they wasted money on the resources, fancy offices, fancy things, whereas your clients don't even come to your office, the kind of business we are in. So why do you need such a fancy office, 11-star office, when you have to spend money? So when you have, it's your money, you will spend it judiciously. Whether it's friends, relatives, or loan, or whatever it is, or even if I'm not saying that don't take equity investment, please do take. But don't think that it is a free money, you can while it away. Please be very, respect Ma Lakshmi. Please respect Ma Lakshmi, she will respect you. See, look at there's a nice chart. We have the top 10 profit-making unicorns: Joho, InfoEdge, Jiroda, 5-star, 1,917 crores, Joho. A very simple man. Still, he stays in the same apartment that he stayed in, when he started his business. One of the very senior IAS officers, he told me last month that he went to his house and he has his sofa, still those 15-year-old sofa. And he's a billionaire. But so that's no wonder that this gentleman is at the top. Look at these gentlemen, what they have done. I'm not saying that they're going to vanish, but definitely there is something wrong with their business model, the way they have run the business. This is a very classic example, madam. Okay, just see, if you can take a polling from the audience and they tell me to leave, I will leave.
Sir, actually,
I know. I'm winding it up. Thank you. So, this is a very interesting example of online pharmacy of companies. I did a research in 2020. Look at they all started around the same time. MedPlus was early. They all started around the same time. The 2018-19 revenues, yes, slightly different, but very similar. Look at what they have done. Promotion cost percentage of revenue, 37%, 35%, low 4%. Same target, same people. Manpower cost percentage of revenue. You start giving 30 lakhs packages to the freshers. You just throw money around. You cannot get talent. You cannot build up a team by throwing money. Sorry. You need a Gorkha regiment to run a business, to fight a war. It's not by throwing money, you cannot get the best resource. They don't work together. So, it was very astonishing. Look at the kind of money these people raised. Do you remember the Farm Easy ads? Did you wonder how that stupid ad, according to me, showing 10 times in a day during those matches? They just burned that money. They all collapsed.
So I really have to plead with you and have to request you to stop, because we have two more sessions before lunch yes.
I had some of the things that I wanted to discuss, some of the cases that why some of these companies collapsed, why these companies, what was wrong with these unicorns, and I don't want to take more time because I know there are more nice expert speakers after this. Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm sure we're going to hear more deliberations from you in the future. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Bimal Patwari for this wonderful presentation. And I will request Mr. Somnath Gohar, Vice President Production and Engineering ABP Private Limited, to kindly come forward and present a memento to Mr. Bimal Patwari. I'm sure all of you have questions for him, and you can please take it offline. We have 2 more of our sessions right now. And here is Mr. Somnath Gohar, who's the Vice President of Production and Engineering ABP Private Limited, presenting a memento to Mr. Bimal Patwari. Round of applause again, and thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I request you to take your seat.